This is the AHRMM Subject Matter Expert Podcast, hosted by Justin Poulin. Tune in every month as we speak with industry experts to highlight success stories and solutions from the field that advance the healthcare supply chain. And now, Justin Poulin with this month's expert.
This is Justin Poulin from Power Supply live here at AHRMM 23 in Orlando. We are speaking with Dylan Hansen, Manager of Materials Management at Cobre Valley Regional Medical Center. And Dylan, you and I got connected through Mike ahead of the event, and you've got a success story that you want to share with us about a project that you've been working on related to quality. And you're going to tell us about, and I may be saying this incorrectly right now, but is it a Kamishibai board? Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Excellent. All right. Well, welcome to the AHRMM podcast, and I hope you're having a really great time at the event.
Oh yeah, no, this is fantastic. I've only been to 2 conferences, so this is my second, but it's my first AHRMM conference. The first one I went to was Vizient conference, and so far I'm really liking this layout a little bit more than the Vizient conference.
Yeah, this is really engaging, and I know that they've done a lot with like panel discussions. And I also think you work in a very unique setting. You work in a small critical access hospital. And so, sometimes, it depends on that level of acuity, how much the content relates to you directly. And so I wondered, maybe you could tell us all a little bit about what it's like being a director at a small critical access hospital.
Of course, yeah. So it's a 25-bed critical access hospital. And from what I've noticed so far, a lot of the directors here, they focus on planning, organizing, coordinating, and delegating tasks to other members of their team. For me, I'm doing all those things as well as placing orders, receiving, making deliveries. And as an example, I'll go to our QAPI committee meeting, discuss our quality project, rush over to meet with a rep regarding a new product, and as soon as I'm finished with that, I'll go out to the warehouse and help receive the FedEx delivery.
So what you're saying is that you wear a lot of hats, and you also just mentioned something, I think you said the QAPI committee, and that's QAPI. What does that stand for?
So it stands for Quality Assurance Performance Improvement.
Tell me a little bit about it. Like, what is the committee focused on? I mean, it's obviously inherent somewhat in its name, but what are some examples of projects that you work on? What are some performance metrics that you're looking at when you get together as a group?
Of course, yeah. So our mission at Cobre Valley is to develop and maintain a healthcare delivery system that serves the region with high quality, efficient, and compassionate care. The QAPI committee assists in creating measurable, meaningful projects that will help us improve the quality of our service. We meet on a monthly basis, and departments take turn presenting their projects. One of the projects that we worked on in the past is ensuring that the supplies in the hospital are not expired. We all know that's a critical component of materials management. So we perform random checks within the storeroom as well as the supply rooms that we service. But additionally, the staff on each unit will provide materials management a form indicating 20 random supply checks were performed. We wanted to expand on that, so we implemented the Kamishibai board, and that helped us create a visual for the staff in my department that tracks their performance during the quarter.
So give me a visual of how this Kamishibai board helps you visualize, because obviously this is audio only, so we're a little limited. You could probably throw up a slide and make it really apparent, but can you describe what this board looks like and how it sort of engages people who didn't necessarily create the board? Or I'm imagining to some level what is being shown visually is most important to you and your team.
Of course, yes. So the Kamishibai board is really a storyboard. Basically, our board has index cards for each PAR location and every aisle in the storeroom. So each card has a green side and a red side. The red side has a list of criteria that my staff will ensure the quality of the service that we are providing to the units. The list includes supply date checks, 18-inch rule from fire sprinklers, no corrugated cardboard, shelves 6 inches above the ground with a solid bottom, make sure that the bin labels are updated and accurate, item rotation is correct, things of that nature. We have a total of 10 criteria. Each can be graded 1 through 5. So in using this board, once an employee feels their area is ready to be inspected, they will flip the card over to the green side. From there, I will grab the card, take the staff member to that area, and grade it in front of them, providing real-time feedback just to show them what my expectations are and how we can improve. So from there, I take the card, I grade it, enter the score into a spreadsheet, and we track that over time. And we would like to see an overall improvement in the quality of the service that we're providing for the units. So over the course of the quarter, we noticed that more red cards slowly turned to green, and that is the tool that really helped get the staff more engaged. And they really like competing with one another to see who can have the best score at the end of the quarter.
You know what's kind of funny about like random audits is that people don't always get to see any kind of trending data about how they're getting better, which I think is part of the reason it feels almost penal at times, right? Oh, they came in and they did an audit and we failed in all these areas and it's a slap on the wrist. Whereas when you are implementing a continuous process like the one that you're describing, they probably start to not only be pleased with the progress and sort of understand that they're in a continuum of performance improvement, but they're getting regular continuous feedback. So you probably get a lot more buy-in that way.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah. One of the benefits that we noticed right off the bat was with the Kamishibai board being the first thing you see when you walk into our department, it's also the last thing you see when you're leaving. So when one of our staff members is taking a cart up to the ICU floor, they're walking right by that board, and I feel like quality is in the forefront of their mind, seeing that board on their way out.
Probably also has them proactively alert you as well. So you're probably being just more continuously mindful of what the state of quality is and getting information back more proactively than you might otherwise, especially when it's going to be from the department that you're supporting too, right?
Correct, yes. I'd much rather hear it from our own staff versus that nurse on the unit. We want to catch those things before even the nurses do.
So what led you to do this? I mean, obviously, the committee is focused on finding these opportunities, but what was really the impetus for this very, specific project?
Yeah, so the use of a Kamishibai board was popularized by Toyota, and we all know them for high quality, reliability, and what have you. So we really wanted to try and emulate some of that. But the idea did come from my mentor and friend, Larry Higgins. He, really helped me get started in the position. A little bit younger than some of the attendees here. So, it's a little nerve-wracking jumping into such a large position at the hospital, but he really did help get me up to speed.
Yeah, it probably gave you some confidence because you knew you had a resource that you could go to when you had questions. I mean, you obviously, if you're going to engage in a project, you want it to be successful, but if you've never done it before, and so you never know what kind of curveballs are going to be thrown at you throughout the project, and not having any experience with it before, it's that anticipation that sometimes can cause pause. Certainly, tell us about any curveballs that you might have encountered or challenges along the way, but also would love to hear about what benefits the organization and specifically the ones that you were hoping to achieve, that you actually did see from implementing the Kamishibai board.
Yeah, of course. Even though we're only a 25-bed hospital, we offer a wide range of services to our community. We offer oncology and hematology services with our own infusion center, cardiology including a cath lab, general surgery with our new Da Vinci for robotic cases. We also have a wound center and hyperbarics. Then we have, your more common ones like orthopedics, family birth center, ER, imaging, the whole works. But we also have smaller clinics for outpatient services like pediatrics, OBGYN, podiatry. We also have clinics in the surrounding areas, and we own and manage an ambulance service that delivers patients to the hospital. So there's a lot of moving components, and there's a lot of different specialties that we are involved in. So learning all of these new things in a short amount of time was definitely a challenge. I've really appreciated the amount of help that I've received from not only my own team in the department, but the organization as a whole. And I just think that having this Kamishibai board and the supply date checks, it really does make us work as a team. And I think it really reinforces the relationships that we have with the surgeons or the MAs, the nurses, the whole team. So those are the benefits that I've noticed.
Relationships are so key, but so is communication, because it's one of the only ways to help maintain those relationships, especially positive relationships. So congratulations on your first leadership position in healthcare supply chain and your very first AHRMM conference. And guess what else? Another first, your very first podcast. You did an awesome job, Dylan. Anything you want to add before we wrap up?
Just want to thank you for the opportunity. It was really amazing. And, thank you for all the encouraging words. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Well, make sure to network and continue to create those relationships while you're here at the event. Dylan Hansen, Manager of Materials Management at Cobre Valley Regional Medical Center, here live at AHRMM 23 in Orlando. It's been a great event, lots of networking to be had here, and lots of energy and buzz from the crowd. So more to come. This is Justin Poulin from Power Supply. Thanks for listening to this AHRMM SME podcast.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the AHRMM Subject Matter Expert Podcast. For additional resources, visit our website at ahrmm.org. That's AHRMM.org. Tune in next month for another edition of the AHRMM Subject Matter Expert Podcast.